We'll go back to that story, but for now, let's shift our focus to that big exclusive that we are tracking here. The death of OpenAI researcher Suchir Balaji has sparked a heated debate in the tech world. Suchir Balaji, who was a promising and influential figure in the AI research world, was found dead under troubling circumstances. Initially reported as a suicide, this version has been disputed by Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who claims Balaji was murdered. In a recent interview, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman referred to Suchir Balaji as a friend and affirmed that he believed that the death was a suicide. Musk's remark made on the social media platform X have ignited a fierce debate, further dividing the tech community and casting a long shadow over the incident. Listen in to what the OpenAI CEO had to say on this.
So you had complaints from one programmer who said you guys are basically stealing people's stuff and not paying them, and then he wound up murdered. What was that?
Also a great tragedy. He committed suicide.
Do you think he committed suicide?
I really do.
Have you looked?
This was like a friend of mine. This is like a guy that, and not a close friend, but this is someone that worked at OpenAI for a very long time. I was really shaken by this tragedy. I spent a lot of time trying to read everything I could, as I'm sure you and others did too, about what happened. It looks like a suicide to me.
Why does it look like a suicide?
It was a gun he had purchased. It was this is like gruesome to talk about, but I read the whole medical record. Does it not look like one to you?
No, he was definitely murdered, I think. There were signs of a struggle, of course. The surveillance camera, the wires had been cut. He had just ordered takeout food, come back from a vacation with his friends on Catalina Island. No indication at all that he was suicidal, no note, and no behavior. He had just spoken to a family member on the phone, and then he's found dead with blood in multiple rooms. So that's impossible. Seems really obvious he was murdered. Have you talked to the authorities about it?
I have not talked to the authorities about it.
And his mother claims he was murdered on your orders.
Do you believe that?
I'm asking.
I mean, you just said it. So do you believe that?
I think that it is worth looking into, and if a guy comes out and accuses your company of committing crimes, I have no idea if that's true or not, of course, and then is found killed and there are signs of a struggle, I don't think it's worth dismissing it. I don't think we should say, well, he killed himself when there's no evidence that the guy was depressed at all.
CNN News 18 spoke to Suchir Balaji's mother, who has maintained that there seems to be foul play in the way her son was killed. Listen in.
This is perhaps for the first time that Sam Altman has spoken on camera about Suchir Balaji's death. In an interview to Tucker Carlson, he says that it is a case of a suicide. He in fact said that he was a colleague, he was a friend, we worked closely. He said all those things, but he said that it is a clear case of suicide. In fact, he also pointed out that how there were no evidence to prove that there was a struggle, etc. So he said all those things. That interview is in public domain. I want to know your thoughts, your comments on this interview given by Sam Altman to Tucker Carlson.
Words doesn't say everything. You should see his behavior. You should see his body language. Every question about Suchir, every other question he looks at Tucker. Every question about Suchir, he's looking down completely and then he answers. And he doesn't answer the questions directly. He's evasive. That means if Tucker asks one question, he pushes it back to him. So he's and all tons of lies. Number one, he said multiple investigations. That's a big thing because as far as we know, there was only one investigation.
Correct.
Then he's saying that is December 29th, police told our attorney that this is a homicide. And it's handed it over to homicide unit. And next day, same police called and said, no, it's suicide. You know why? It's torn. And he said there were two police reports. There was only one police report that were given to us. Now it looks like there were two, yes. There was one that has been altered. What we've been given is an altered report. You think we can group him by words? You should see his behavior. You should see his behavior.
Ma'am, also, I want to ask you, in fact, I did ask you this question last time also when we spoke. that did you ever try to reach out to Sam Altman, his office? Did he ever, met you people after Suchir's demise? Did he ever came to your home to extend condolences?
Actually, he reached out to me through emails, their HR,
Okay.
and
Okay.
we replied, we are not in a stage to communicate to him. We are not interested right now. And
Okay.
they were trying to offer something. We
Yeah,
didn't, something, they send an email, we have something offer,
to
but
offer
what
two
is that?
times.
We know something unethical in that offer, so we didn't reply to that. Yeah.
I mean, we
Okay.
were
No. So,
saying
so he, Sam Altman's office offered you something. You
that's the
mean to say
letter. I
that?
can say it. I can say it
It
through
is
that
not
letter,
offer,
Mr. Modi.
a kind of indirect indication they were giving.
Actually, the same
Okay.
choice of words.
As far as the authorities in San Francisco concerned, the police concerned, they all are calling it a case of a suicide. But obviously, Suchir Balaji's fans, his family, relatives, Elon Musk, they all believe that it's a case of murder. So, if I ask you that, what evidence you have right now to prove that it is a case of murder? Somebody killed Suchir. What evidence you have to convince the world, to convince media, to convince authority, or for that matter, if you tomorrow reach out to President Trump's office, then what evidence do you have you will put before him to convince him to launch or restart investigation into this matter?
I can give you 3 or 4 points. Number one
Yeah.
is the wounds on the body. There's a head
Okay.
injury, and
Yeah.
the ballistic model that's been given is he's made to sit on the floor and shot from the top. That
Okay.
means,
Mm.
right? That means he didn't
Mm.
fall down. So there's no
Okay.
head injury from the fall. And then
Mm.
there's a maxillary bone fracture.
Mm.
Hit.
Mm.
Even his doctor who did the autopsy, he said
Mm.
Suchir was punched on the face. We
Mm.
have it on the
Mm.
Zoom, we have it on the recording. He cannot go
Mm.
back. So that's the kind of
Okay.
situation we are in. And then his whole face is twisted. And you know what the
Yeah.
doctor he said? They're saying
Yeah.
his face was touching the door, so it just pressed. It's not true. His
Mm.
face was not touching the door. We have seen the pictures.
Yeah.
And his jeans here is ripped.
My colleague Siddhant Mishra was in conversation with Suchir Balaji's parents there. He's joining us live on the broadcast. Siddhant, you've been tracking this case for some time now. His parents are convinced that this was a case of foul play, of murder. Now, Sam Altman himself is coming out and saying, no, this was suicide. Do you think in any way the authorities in US can be moved now, or any step can be taken to do a reinvestigation?
Well, Arunima, last I checked with the San Francisco authorities was in April, and when I asked them that whether they are going to reopen the case or get it reinvestigated, to which they say they told me that it was an open and shut case, and we have already drawn the conclusion, and there is no point of reopening the case. Now, perhaps this case is again in the news, Arunima, because Tucker Carlson spoke to Sam Altman, and perhaps he did ask him about this particular case because Suchir worked very closely with Sam Altman on ChatGPT project. In fact, he was a part of his core team. Then Suchir left OpenAI and perhaps started giving media interviews and kind of telling the dark secret of AI world. In fact, he gave an interview to New York Times, and New York Times misquoted him. That's what his parents told me, where he reportedly said that I'm ready to testify in the courts. So perhaps his parents say because of that interview, the Silicon Valley lobby came after him, and he was murdered. So that's the theory which parents have been telling me since last December. Now, since Sam Altman was asked this question by Tucker Carlson, so this case is again in the news. Now, the parents have to say that since San Francisco authorities have closed the case, there is more evidence that they need to collect. Once they will collect all those evidence, then they will reach out to President Trump and Elon Musk's office for the support. They are also going to take advice of their attorney, how to pursue this case legally forward. But they need more time because right now none of the authorities there, or for that matter, those attorneys have given report in their favor, in parents' favor. So that is what is stopping them to reach out to President Trump directly or Elon Musk for that. So they're waiting. They're buying more time. They're collecting evidence. They're speaking to the experts, medical experts, forensic experts, perhaps how to take this case forward. But all they said to me was that Sam Altman lied. In fact, Sam Altman did try to offer them some stocks in his company to remain silent. Perhaps that's what they are alleging. But at that point in time, they refused taking any money or stocks in Sam Altman's company. And afterwards, there was no contact between Sam Altman and Suchir's family.
Siddhant, thank you so much. Siddhant there reporting on the Suchir Balaji case and the latest that has come up, revelations made by the parents to Siddhant that Sam Altman's company in fact offered them shares and they interpreted that it was a bribe to make them keep quiet. We'll keep an eye on that story.